Everybody, welcome back. This is Excel 10-Minute Leaders. 10 minutes of insights from leaders, all different stripes, walks of life, maybe business, maybe technology, maybe society. Today, I'm joined by a special guest, Tracy. And we were talking a lot about off air. We were chatting away there, but I forgot to ask you how to pronounce your surname. Lamourie, did I get it right?
You got it, Lamori. Yeah, perfect.
Lamourie, fantastic. Welcome to the show, Tracy. And broadcasting in from which part of the world?
I am in Hamilton, which is just outside of Toronto, Canada. So I've been here for
Fantastic.
all of COVID. I've been saying it's Hamilton Mountain, not Hollywood Hills this year.
Fantastic. Well, it's great to have you here, and shout out to everybody from your hometown or knows you from work as well. So if you're watching this on the live stream on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up and a like, and comments as well will come through, and the best comments as well, we'll put them on the screen right in front of us. So then we've got 10 minutes. Tracy, award-winning publicist, are you ready?
I am. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, let's go. 10 minutes starts now. Firstly, what does it say on your business card?
It says co-founder and managing director, Lamori Media Inc.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you as a follow-up to that, what is your superpower? What does Lamori Inc. do, and what do you do better than most people, Tracy?
I get people heard. I make people stars. It doesn't matter what you do. Like if you're a real estate agent, I make you the international star real estate agent, just like I'm the star publicist. So whoever my clients are, I see the star quality in them, and my job is to make the world see the star quality in them.
How do you make them stars? You send them to Hollywood or what?
Some of them, it depends what they do. Funnily enough, I've had three this week. I was featured in Hollywood Times, and so were three of my clients, two from Canada. So kinda, and it's a 40-year-old publication founded in Beverly Hills. But yeah, so basically, I help them build their thought leadership, whatever they do. I get them interviewed, get them quoted in mainstream media, find awards they qualify for, just elevate and celebrate.
I like that. Elevate and celebrate. Okay. So what can you teach our audience about publicity, being a thought leader and getting my name out there? They may be interested. They may be small business owners. They may be business leaders. What can you teach in the next 2 minutes that could change their business lives for the better?
Yep. I gotcha. So whatever you do, you got to believe in yourself and believe that you're an expert. That same thing that makes you put out your shingle and take money from people, so you believe you're an expert, you qualify that or translate that into the media. So understand that the people in your field that get interviewed on radio, TV, newspapers, the people in your field that you see get awards, they're no different from you, except they know how to get out there and they know how to let the bigger world see what they're doing at their desk. So there's a million platforms these days, with the world being full of opportunity with all these different platforms. If you aren't thinking about that, you really are falling behind. So some quick tips: get out your pen and paper. You can actually go for free and do this right now. Is
I'm ready.
one
I
is
got it.
one is help a reporter out, Haro, Haro. One is source bottle. Those are PR gold. But entrepreneurs of all kinds can go and sign up there. It's for free and see incoming. If you go and look for a week on that, you'll see all kinds of incoming things from reporters, and you'll get a better understanding of what kind of media opportunities there are. And then from there, you have to learn to pitch. Editorial versus advertorial is key. Most entrepreneurs understand advertorial, talking about yourself, your product, why it's better than the next guy's. That's not the stuff that's going to get you in the newsroom. You have to think about yourself as a source, giving expert opinion and knowledge about stuff that other people don't have, that you have as a result of your book, your expertise, your business. But it's not an opportunity to sell your business, because that's the ad department.
There you go, folks. Advertorial versus editorial. What do you think of podcasts as a publicity platform? How's that
Absolutely
working? Yeah.
stellar. And in fact, because at first I was just looking at them as, just another media opportunity. There's radio, television, newspapers, podcasts. And to me, they're an equal media opportunity, and they are. But in addition now, especially in 2020, 2021, they've developed hugely into the marketing and the networking, especially if you have a service business, B2B stuff. B2C is different. Then it's more like consumer radio and stuff. But anything B2B, podcasters are looking to build their brand. People listening are looking to build their brand, and they're making connections that way and literally finding, like, truly networking and finding ways to continue to elevate each other that way. So podcasts, I book my clients on them, and I don't care if it's a small podcast or Apple Top 10 podcast. I really don't. It's not about the numbers, because that number thing a tiny podcast can have a million listeners later, and they go back, unlike TV and radio, and listen to the original ones, right? But podcasts in general, like one of the guys who invented Podmatch or Matchmaker or something was interviewed on a show the week before I was, and the host said to me, he brought up a really good thing. He said most businesses If you said to them, hey, there's a stage over here, we're having an event in town, gonna be about 50 people, 100 people, 50 people. Do you want to get up on stage and talk about what you do? Most entrepreneurs would be like, oh, right, I do. But if they find out there's a podcast that only has 100 listeners, then that's waste your time. That's not true. I say as a publicist, and this is my business, if it's well produced and it's on brand, it doesn't matter if it's tiny or big. It's going to grow. It's going to have SEO, and it's that third party credibility of other people viewing you as an expert and being able to find you when they search your name, whether it's to invest in you, after they look at your deck, or whether it's to buy a service from you or to partner with you. Media builds your credibility in a way that advertising can't.
Yeah, I mean, great points as well. I mean, 100 people, you don't need many of them to be buyers or investors to make that worthwhile in terms of your timing, right?
Exactly.
Fantastic. Okay, but let's flip this back to yourself, Tracy. Why was it yourself? Why were you, on paper at least, should never have been successful as a star publicist?
Why? Yeah, because literally I did not go to school for this. I did not, I never met a publicist. I never read a book about publicity. None of that stuff. I literally learned how to write a press release when I was a 28-year-old. I was in my what paid my bills was in, entry-level sales. And in my real life, I was an activist and an advocate. And I literally learned to write a press release on the Alta Vista, the precursor to Google, to help
I remember that well.
You do. There you go. For immediate release, I literally learned how to write a press release to help let the world know about a man who at that time was saying he was factually innocent on death row in Pennsylvania. And my husband and I got involved as activists and read all the cases. We're like, whoa, what do we do? And so he learned to make a webpage. I learned to write a press release. It was literally the beginning of a 20-year campaign, 19-year media campaign. Jimmy Dennis is free now. He was released in 2017. R&B artist. Remember that name, guys. It's going to be hard to forget soon. Some crazy media stuff is happening. So that story's not over. But yeah, that's how I learned to write a press release, literally as a passionate advocate to get something out. And it was another 13 years. Literally, I was 28 then. It wasn't until I was 41 that it hit me. Hey, I could probably make a career out of those skills that I built doing that. Hey, why don't I start doing that instead of sales? So literally, and that was 9 years ago that I started charging people, small businesses and creatives to get media for them, right? And now it's an international award. Like literally about 5 years in, I became a general partnership, and then last year in COVID we actually upped our game and incorporated. So now we're Lamori Media Inc.
It's a grand title. I get a lot of press releases. I think podcast hosts always get press releases come onto their desk, as they say in the old school.
Imagine if you're the radio or TV. Yeah, that's
you get a ton of these. But here's the thing. What advice can we give to those people? Because so much of it is done without heart. It's like, first of all, they don't know anything about who they're writing to. It's spam. And then what's the key takeaways that I can think
Number
about?
one, that's the key to everything. Whether it's a podcaster, whether it's the New York Times reporter, whether it's who on what level, it's no different. The pitch is everything. Know who you're pitching before you even send a letter to the media or any media. Know who it is, what they cover, what their audience is, what their mandate is. Because the best way to burn a bridge and never have them open up your thing again is to send inappropriate stuff to the wrong person or send advertorial. And that's where you have to really understand, what you're. So that's key right there. Watch it before you send it. And for example, I always say 22-minute news broadcast. Every entrepreneur thinks, oh yeah, I'm going to get on the news. Is it really edit yourself? Is what I'm presenting actually something I would expect to see on that news broadcast? Or is it more something I might read in the lifestyle section of the newspaper? And that's how you edit yourself. Who am I presenting it to? Make sure that's appropriate. And then once you do, it can be, obviously you're not rewriting a new letter for everybody, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, go through my media list and I'll be like, hey, Bob, this is, if I really think this is going to be a piece I don't want them to miss, I'll do it one by one. Hey, Bob, I really think this is good for your podcast. I know I heard episode 3 and you were talking about this. And I think be specific, spend your time being specific, because you're realizing at the other end is a human being. And most people are really bad at even their sales pitches, let alone reaching out to media that has no time for drama or crap. You know what I mean? So you got to be like, I am of value to you. This is the value I have. If you want to talk about this, let me know. And that's how it starts. And you're obviously going to get 9 times. You're going to get more no's than yeses, because even if it's a great pitch, it's got to get there at the exact right time when they're thinking about doing that way. So it's
a numbers game.
It's a numbers
but you
game.
can improve the numbers. Like,
absolutely,
great advice.
Being smart and
Yeah, being sensitive and taking the time not to be a spammer and actually read about what you're talking to, right? And have some
Exactly.
sort of an interest in what they talk about as well. All right,
Exactly.
Tracy, we're on overtime now. So one last question. The challenge is to you to pass the baton. Name a friend watching now. You know a lot of people. You're a publicist. You know everybody, especially in Hollywood. I'm not expecting any celebs, A-list Hollywood celebs on this show, but you
I'll
might know
give you
some
good
friends.
stories though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, tell me, storytellers, who do you know that should be on this show that has a great story to tell?
Oh my gosh. Like you said, I'm a publicist. I got so many. In fact, after this, I'm going to have your email and you'll be like, you know who I think you should have on? That's always the next
I'll
move.
just start with one then. Like, I only have
But
24
yeah.
hours in a day.
Okay. So, okay. I don't even know this. The first one that, and I got a million, like honestly, but the first person that
All
came
right.
to mind to me right now was somebody that started working with me when she was 25. I had like zero media. She's a life coach, but her personal story was about bipolar and
Mm,
beating bipolar and fighting the stigma and living a happy, successful life with bipolar. Her name's Liz Alvarez, and she obviously now she's called a mental health champion now because she's been featured in Good Housekeeping for my work and Authority and all kinds of stuff. And she's got lots of really neat things to say, especially now while bipolar or not, but just mental health is a huge thing because everybody is
mm.
freaking out, feeling stuck. It's been a crazy year for
We
some of
feel
us.
it.
You
Yeah.
might have heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're feeling it for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's a good one. Well, if she's watching or if she's going to watch this on archive, then Tracy gave the shout out as well. So she's publicizing always 24
Always.
7. That's right. Fantastic, Tracy. It's great to have you on the show. Where do we find out more about you? Let's send the listeners and the audience to your website. Over to you.
So yeah, you can find me on Lamori Media, lamorimedia.com. You can find me at Tracy Lamourie PR Media on Instagram. You can find me at Tracy Lamourie on LinkedIn. And I do work internationally. So if anybody's interested in hearing a little bit more, if there's been a value and you're thinking, me, how could I really? I'm happy to do a free consult where we can talk more specifically about how we can get you in the media, no matter what you do.
Fantastic. Hey everybody, that was Tracy Lamourie. It's been a real pleasure having her on the show all the way from Canada today. It's been fun as well as inspiring, insightful, learning about the world of publicity and getting out there and building your personal brand. Tracy, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun.